Howdy there guys, welcome back to Edgar TV. It is the final day of phase 1 at Q School, so we're going to know who's going to be in that final phase, battling out for those PDC tour cards. We've got our 8 winners of the day, the people that make the quarterfinal stages, along with the people from the Order of Merit system. Now, let's take a look at that Order of Merit system, because today it's not always about the people that are throwing the darts. Sometimes it's also about the people that are not throwing the darts, the people that have decided to have the day off because they think they've done enough on day 1 and day number 2. We'll have a look through those players. Thomas Lovely sensibly taking a day off, as is Spellman, Cromwell, Asprey and Liam Goiney. Jim McEwen, the Motor Super Series champion, Jim Mostyn and Dan Reed. Now, sensible play from those guys to take the day off. I'm not sure about these guys that have took the day to play. I mean, everyone each to their own, and some people just like to play all the time. But they're guaranteed, they're in the dark green, they're guaranteed to be going through. So, a little bit surprised to see those in. I think these guys as well on the 4 points are pretty much guaranteed to be in as well. Not mathematically yet, but if I was on 4 points in this position with 77 places up for grabs, I certainly wouldn't be playing on the Wednesday. I'd be getting ready for what's to come at the back end of the week. I understand this, so the players on 3, they've got to be sure. And will we see a Conan Whitehead incident this year where someone misses out at the last minute? Robert Adnams, not far away, but not playing, as is Wayne Jones. 2 players that I think, you know, when you see that, you think they'd probably just gone just for the Challenge Tour. That's something we knew that Kevin Painter was intending on when he went to Q School. It was purely just to try and get onto that Challenge Tour to get some more competitive play, so no surprise to see him missing for the field. We also know Robert Thornton, the Seniors World Champion, will be doing exactly the same thing. Alan Tabern, again, showing no intention here to get a tour card. So for some people, and as we can see, that it's all about getting onto that Challenge Tour. Now, in the past, you used to be able to just pay to go on the Challenge Tour, pay your PDPA membership. I think they should bring that back in, because what you might have here is you might have one of these players that purely want the Challenge Tour that may come in and stop somebody who's actually got ambitions of excelling here or moving through Q School. So something I'm not a massive fan on there, but let's have a look at what's happening on the board. So we'll have a look through the round of 512. There's not many people in this round of 512 on this occasion, reason being because a lot of people have already gone through. We've had 16 players go through from the day. We've had people already go through in terms of the points and decide not to play, in those players that just want in Challenge Tour places. But Scott Walters hasn't been good enough on this occasion, unfortunately. He will be continuing his goal of Lakeside now, or certainly he might be PDC into the Challenge Tour, but he's not going to be getting that tour card. Geoffrey Heath, Edgar TV legend of Sage 1, goes through. He's going to be in with a good shout. Reece Colley disappoints once again, winner of a big WDF Gold event, but not been able to follow that up, certainly in a PDC arena. David Wazuki seems to always get through this stage at Q School. He's through once again, despite losing 5-3 to Owen Maiden. He should be safe in his quest. Stephen Inkpen, the Scribe, the Ballpoint, the Parker, whatever you want to pick there for him, he's going to be out here at the first round stage. Kevin McDine, someone we said had big hopes and aspirations not too many years ago, but needs a big day today. He's kicked it off quite well. Ryan Hogarth goes out to the Muffin Man, Steve Hine, friend of the channel. You might remember him in the early days doing a bit of a play along, but majority of players will be taking part in the 256. The list of star performers at the UK, a big list here. We're going for those players averaging over 93. Rhys Griffiths, 5-0 victory over Nathan Kerr. James Beaton, good young player who's got ambitions of Lakeside, but also ambitions of a tour card. 5-3 over Ireland's Keith Rooney. Do remember Keith Rooney, when he beat Andy Hamilton, he sort of grabbed himself a bit like Michael Jackson and did the old hee hee. Adam Paxton, local lad near me from Coventry, 5-4 victory over James Parkin. Gary Butcher going down to Stephen Moss. All Welsh clash. Sean Fisher going through against Martin Thomas. Reece Robinson, Mr. Must-See, he calls himself on the Super Series. Going down to Adrian Gray, 5-1 there. Adrian Gray, known in the world of soft tip, went over there after spending some time in the PDC. He had a really good spell of things, actually. He was nicknamed the Conqueror because he beat Phil Taylor in the World Grand Prix when Phil Taylor was at the peak of his power. 9 Dart Borland, 5-2 victory for him. Scott Campbell, someone we picked up on who was averaging high in the 90s, ended up losing the game after a big lead. Lost yesterday without winning a leg. Back on track today. Good to see for him. And Justin Hood, star performer of the round. A 5-0 victory over Luke Smith, averaging 104.38. Real good quality there from those guys. But how does the table add up? This is the thing. So we can see lots of people now confirmed to be through. Players in there. Ashley Coleman, someone who I know a lot of people are following online. Does a lot of online streaming with Jack. Pete Burgoyne, someone who... What a laugh. What a laugh. Adrian Gray now confirmed as going through on the back of that. Keith Rooney, despite losing, goes through. James Beaton should be through. Pretty much my prediction of 4 points looks to be safe right now when we sort of scroll our way down. Currently, 77th position goes to Gary Blades. He is still in the tournament at the time of this edit as well. So, interesting prospects. Scott Walters, someone we picked up on, currently outside. David Evans, ex-tour card holder himself, currently outside. When we look a little bit further down, we get to see all the people that have sort of been players that are eliminated at the moment but don't have a chance. Our pal Geoffrey, he's still in, he's still swinging. Come on, Geoffrey, get to that final stage, pal. Adam Mould won a week at the Super Series before. Chaz Barstow, surprise again to see him go out at the first stage. The T-Rex Cole is out. I also saw someone suggest that he should be called Dur Rex Cole, which, again, great comment, guys. Keep those going. As we sort of scroll through, you'll see people that have either just not performed, or you'll even see the trolls that sort of tell you they could do it better, then come and don't do it better, which is interesting to see. More on that in another video. But Reece Colley, disappointing again. Eddie Lovely, wasn't quite lovely enough for him. Ex-tour card holder, but he's got the chance now of the Seniors Tour. Now, with the Seniors Tour, you're not allowed to play that with a tour card. The reason being, because those events on TV, you can't appear on a TV broadcast with a tour card. So, tour card holders not allowed things like the Super Series or to be in the World Seniors. So, you may have noticed things have slightly changed since I last came on screen. I'm now in a kitchen. I'm out and about today. Got quite a bit of things to do and prepare, but I'm not missing out on my Q School, and I'm certainly not missing out on reviewing the day and the action. And my word, this was a round of chaos. James Richardson, someone who picked up at the very start, not able to get enough points by the looks of things. He could be in big trouble in order to get that tour card and that status back. Geoffrey Heath doesn't get through. Unfortunately, we've really enjoyed following his progress throughout this event. Connor Heenahan goes out. Worrying times for him. Alan Norris looking to get back onto the Pro Tour. He's actually had a couple of good days, so we're going to be interesting to see at the end of it how many points he's got. Will he have enough points on the board? John Part certainly looks like he's going to. He keeps grinding out results. He's yet to really put in anything big, sort of over the 90 mark, but maybe that name factor is coming in, which is why I think Fallon Sherrick is potentially a really good shout to get her tour card this year. Obviously, it gets a bit harder when we go into that round of 128 players, because that's when the real big hitters of Q School come into play. William Borland needs a big run, and he's putting himself into contention here. A 5-1 victory over Phil Coward. Kevin Thomas of Wales going out to Peter Jakes. That's a bit of a clash that would have been on the Pro Tour about 2014. But in general, no real big surprises or shocks this round. All pretty much going to how we'd expect. Moved again, we're moving around, but the Q School does not stop for me. I am following this intensely, and one of the things that come through is the performance. Now, I mentioned this at the very start. I did say that for me, today is the day we get to learn a lot about the players who can stand up and be counted. At this point, when you're needing the points, these guys coming to the forefront with those big averages. Darren Armstrong is best of the week so far, and Darren Beveridge, a man who a few years ago you'd have said would have been knocking on the door of a tour card, had a year off, and is seemingly putting that to good use. When we look through the round of 32, at this point, you'd think most of these players are going to be in. 3 points should be enough, but it's not. It's 3 points and legs. So some people who's left it late, like Joshua Wise, for example, losing out 5-1 to Greg Ritchie, hasn't done enough. Stephen Moss losing out to Jacob Quinn of Yorkshire has not done enough. Now, everyone down the left-hand side here, these will all get 4 points onto their order of merit, which means they are guaranteed to go through, which kind of means the last round is completely irrelevant in regards to the qualification through to the next phase of Q School. So with that in mind, we're just going to focus purely on the numbers and on the league points. Now you'll see here 3 points has been enough. The difference in factors here, leg difference first, you'll see very, very harsh that actually 5 players to be precise, Stu Wilson, Jonathan Flynn, Gallagher, Borland and Neil, all on 3 points plus 4, which means the next deciding factor comes into play, which is legs 1. So everyone here from William Borland up, so 77 position up here, are going to be in phase 2 of Q School. That includes Alan Norris, a player who's trying to return back to a bit of form. John Part, someone we've been talking about all the way through, the 3-time world champion, now has 4 days and 4 opportunities in order to get a PDC tour card. At stage 2, it will be 1 winner from each day, plus the top 9 in the order of merit will also go in. Lots of names you'll recognise here from the past, lots of names for the future. Lots of popular players will be taking part in phase 2. So if you didn't see your favourite player, if you didn't see the man you wanted to get through on that list of green players, unfortunately they are now eliminated. No more play. It's just the top 77 plus those exemptions now that will take part in stage 2. So we lose a big chunk of the players. We're down to 256 players now, 128 in the UK, 128 in Europe. And now, if you win the day, you are a PDC tour card holder for the next 2 years, 24 and 25. Don't worry if you're still confused. I'm going to talk you through it every single step of the way. 4 days to go, the big 4 days. It's time to dish out the tour cards, and I'll be catching you soon for some more Edgar TV.